What is up, you guys? Welcome to probably the most entertaining video you're ever going to see on this channel, because today we are going to be attempting headers. Yay! Doing headers by yourself. Everybody says do it. Nobody says go out and spend the money because it's a pain in the butt. But it's okay. I'm in a good mood. It's like 8:45 in the morning. Heading over to Mob Auto Boutique right now. He's generously letting me use his lift. And so I think... So it's weird. So most of my videos, I don't really plan a lot for, but then make them, and they end up coming out semi-okay. This one, at least not really this video, but at least this endeavor, if you want to call it that, I've put a lot of planning into. I think I know what I'm doing. I've watched about 6,000 videos 6,000 times, and I hope I know what I'm doing. So, like I said, I've been telling everybody that, now again, this is just my personal scale, that if, you know, car knowledge on like working on cars is like a 1 to 10 scale, I would put me at like a 6.5, 7, as far as like the things in my brain that I know I can do. I'm putting headers at like a 7.2. So I've never done, I mean, I've done headers before. I did headers on my old V6 Mustang, but that was a V6 and there's a lot of room to work with because it was a V6. There's a lot less room to work with on this car. And I've never taken the motor mount off, and I've never lifted an engine on my super nice car. Not super nice, but nicest car I've ever had. So, anyways, so this is either going to be one of the two videos. This is either going to be a really cool install video that might be kind of fun, or it's going to be one gigantic lesson in biting off more than we can chew. So, let's see which one it is. We're going to run by the tool shop, tool place. I gotta go buy some stuff, and so we're gonna go head there first, and then I'll see you guys at the shop. Yeah. Got it. All right, come down.
3 days later.
What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the video, and well, welcome to the video. What is going on, you guys? Yes, we have finally done something performance related to the Mustang. You guys have asked me for a while, and we're gonna go just that much faster. That's the best noise. I've had a lot of cars, and a lot of them have sounded good, at least in my opinion. And this is the best. So if you guys haven't really been following the channel, haven't been following what we've been doing, I've been running a Corsa Extreme catback for the longest time. Recently switched over to a Corsa Sport catback in kind of preparation to get these headers put on. And that's kind of where we left off. So since then, what we've done is we put a pair of catless long tube headers from Texas Speed. So shout out to those guys. They were super awesome. Riley set everything up, but we had an awesome tour of their shop, and they do a lot of super cool things in-house, including make a really awesome set of headers because, yeah. Yep, and yeah. You guys, you want to hear it again? It's just a full first gear spin, like just from 4 grand, just spin. Good car. So before we go into a little more detail about how the car drives, who's tuned it, blah blah blah, what else we've done to it, let's. I'm gonna pull over for you guys real quick and give you a few revs. So quick rundown of everything we did to this thing yesterday. So obviously we did the Texas Speed catless headers. I already had the exhaust. We did a GT350 cold air intake. We haven't done the intake manifold yet. That'll probably be the next thing we do to it. But I'm a little ways away from doing that. So GT350 cold air intake. Then we've got two tunes, both from VMP. We've got a 93 and an E85 tune. Right now we're on 93. I've got about a half tank of gas. So I'm gonna kind of use the rest of this week to burn through the rest of this 93. Then I'll give you guys another video of us switching over to E85. I'm probably not gonna put this thing on the dyno with the 93. Once we go to the E85, then I'll probably put it on the dyno just to see, just really because I'm curious to see what it makes. I'm not even gonna take a guess right now, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Before we get too deep into this video, just a couple super big thank yous. One to Zach over from Down South Racing. Him and I bounced back and forth a couple ideas on what to tune, and he just gave me his car. I'll link his channel below. His car roughly has a lot of the same modifications I do. His has a little bit more, but he was super helpful in kind of helping me with my decision-making process. So Zach, thank you, dude. And then the biggest thanks of all go to Zach and Kyle and Faison and all the guys at Mob Auto Boutique. I'll link everybody's Instagrams below. Please go give them a follow, and seriously, thank you to them because without them, I would not have been able to install this. So touching on the install real quick, it's still a super sensitive subject still. I don't know if you can see, but my hands are completely destroyed from getting these headers put on. You know, everybody says it's better to just have somebody install headers, especially on an S550. And I was one of the people that are like, you know what, hey, I've worked on cars before, I could probably do this. And no, you can't probably do this. It was probably, it was easily the hardest thing I've ever done, the most involved thing I've ever done. And I know I'm gonna get comments on this video, oh, I did it in 45 minutes and I took a break in between. But for me, it took us a very long time to do this. I'm not gonna tell you quite how long, but it was the better part of 2 days. Yeah, it was about 2 days is what it took us to get this done. Just a lot of things fall. What I'll do now is I'll insert a clip of some of the little quirks that I was gonna film the whole install, but then we got so frustrated it quickly just became, let's just get these things on and then I'll worry about filming. So I'll put in a little clip of a couple little tips and pointers that we learned the past few days. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Mob Auto Boutique. There's Mr. Faison, the owner right there, and welcome to the biggest headache of my entire life. So
my name is Zach.
He's the biggest headache. No, so it's these suckers right here. So finally we have them on Texas Speed 1 7/8 inch headers, catless, and yeah. So we were gonna hang on. Let me turn this around here. So what? Dogless? Catless and dogless. Yes, it's dogless too. So I was gonna give you kind of a play-by-play on how we installed these headers, but it quickly turned into the biggest nightmare that I've ever done on a car. So instead of telling you guys what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna tell you guys what we did wrong and what I think you guys should do right next time. So starting off, you guys won't be able to really see any of this. Actually, hold on one second. Okay, that's better. So you guys still can't see great, but on top, so basically you've got 8 header bolts on this car. So you've got 8 up top and 8 down low. The 4 up top on both sides is gonna be the trickiest thing. We couldn't get any wrenches down here to these first 2, so what we ended up doing was taking the intake out from the top side and coming down on them, and it was a lot easier to do. The only other big thing is these 2 motor mounts right here. There's one on both sides, and Bill from CJ Pony Parts said it best, that it's made to look a lot easier on camera. What it is there's Loctite on every freaking thread going up, so you're fighting Loctite on every single turn. So once you get those off, it gets a lot easier. Driver side header went on fine. Passenger side was tough. We ended up having to jimmy the whole engine over to get this passenger side header on. So that one fought us for a long time. I won't tell you how long we've been working on this, but it's been quite a long time. So what we're gonna do, we're just about done now. We're gonna get the cat back put on, get the car on the ground, get it started. We've got, like I said, I don't know if I've told you guys this yet, but we have VMP tuning the car, so we've got the tune in ready to go. No, the tune's not on the car yet. I just have it in. So let's get this here cat back on and let's get her fired up. So yeah, so those are the biggest things. Like I said, the biggest pain was, one, getting the passenger side header on. The driver side went on without issue, didn't take a single stud off. Passenger side was much harder. Like I said, we ended up having to slide the whole engine over to the left. And then finally we were able to get the headers on. but like I said, it was with a lot of doing, and it was not easy. Same thing with those two motor mounts. The same thing with the motor mounts on both sides. There's literally the bolt comes out virtually blue. Like, that's how much Loctite is on them. So I mean, what sucks is, one, you know, you're in such close quarters. I mean, everything you're doing is 1/4 of an eighth of a turn at a time, and then to not only be, you know, doing things, you know, super slowly, well, now it's every turn is just as hard. You know, it's like it literally feels like you're trying to break a bolt loose with every turn, and that made it what I would like to call miserable. But other than that, dude, I have zero complaints. I love these things so much. The sound is, I'm trying to give you guys some kind of level of what the sound is, because it's not a GT350, but it's not a Coyote either. It's a mixture of the two, but it's loud, and it just sounds so free. I mean, this thing just freaking breathes. And if you guys didn't catch my video of why I switched to the sports, and that was for really the only reason why I did it was for noise. Maybe it's because I'm getting old, but I wanted it to be loud. And don't get me wrong, it's really loud, but it's not as loud as it would be with the Extremes. With the Extremes, from every video that I've seen, and I've seen one car with headers and Extremes, loud is not the word, unbearable is more of the word. And I wanted it to be, you know, loud and crazy, but I also wanted me to be able to drive it, and my wife to be able to drive it, and just it still be a car. You know, I didn't want it to become this, you know, burden that I didn't even want to drive because it wasn't fun to drive, because it was too loud and I couldn't hear music, or I couldn't talk to someone else. I just wanted it to be, you know, a little tamed, versus the opposite. So I mean, when you give it a little juice, she still makes noise. But then when you put it in 5th gear, it's gone. And that's what I wanted. And that is where the Corsa magic happens, because even with all of the nastiness going on up here, the guys over at Corsa have still been able to keep it quiet back there. And so many points go to Corsa for them. So performance-wise, I couldn't tell you how much horsepower it has now. I mean, I'm not even gonna assume, because you guys understand it doesn't make that much horsepower. I don't know how much horsepower it makes. I will tell you, my butt dyno says that it goes much faster than it used to before. So can't argue with the butt. Another cool thing I did was putting this GT350 intake on. Big shout out to Brandon for giving me that. It's got this cool whooshing noise now that it didn't have before. You just hear, and kind of cool. And then when you turn the car off, you know, the engine goes on, and you're, so hey, I'm all about the noises here. So that's pretty sweet. Definitely want to do is put this thing on the dyno just to see how much we've gained, you know, if at all. I mean, I know we've definitely gained a lot. Like I said, it feels just a lot healthier. Where you really tell the difference is, you know, I feel like this is every Coyote video that says, hey, anything above 4,000 RPMs. Kind of the same story here. I would say it's a little bit quicker, you know, up to about 3,800 RPMs. Once you hit 4 grand though, it really just screams, and the car is just pulls and pulls and pulls. Like I said, I did a 2nd gear pull the other day, and we're pulling, and then right at like 5,500 RPMs, that's when the tire broke loose. I'm like, oh, hey, here we go. But yeah, so it feels extraordinarily healthy up top, and car just pulls like a freight train now. And we're still on 93. We haven't switched over to E85 yet. So once we jump on E, I imagine this thing is going to get loud. Let's give this 350 a rev. But yeah, I want to talk for a second about the tunes on this car. So I said right now we're running a 93 tune from VMP, and could not have asked for a better buying experience from them. Took a little while to get the tunes in. Once we got the tuner, it wasn't a huge deal. I hadn't got the headers yet anyway. I actually got the tunes the morning we were finishing the header install, so it all worked out perfectly. The only thing, VMP did send me an email saying that because of politics, blah, 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 they weren't able to turn my check engine light off once we delete the cats. And so sure enough, I do have a check engine light on right now. I'm looking into a few different solutions. A lot of these, you know, companies that make these, you know, O2, you know, cat fakes, you know, to try and fake CO2 sensor and just saying it's reading clean air. So I'm looking into those. If any of you guys are running anything like that, can you drop me a comment below and let me know what it is, what brand it is, and what you're using. I've got a couple that I've got one that I think I'm gonna use. I'm good on inspection for a while, but I really do want to get this check engine light turned off. So that is the only negative about going VMP, is that they can't turn the check engine light off. If I remember right, I believe Palm Beach Dyno in Lund can. So like I said, if you don't want to have to, I think the route I'm going, I think it's going to be fine. I think I'll be able to get the light turned off. But just know that in the back of your head, that VMP is safe, you know, right up front. Hey, we cannot turn the check engine light off. So, like I said, not a huge deal. I think I've got it figured out. Just something to note. If that's something you don't want to fool with, spend a little bit more, spend a little extra money and get the Palm Beach or get the Lund tune. Anyways, guys, that's about it. I'm probably going to give you guys a follow-up video on just exhaust noises from every exhaust system I've had. Just in case you are shopping for an exhaust system, you know, I'm going to give you guys the Roush, I'll give you guys the Extremes, the Sports, the headers, blah, blah, blah. Just nothing but noise, just to hopefully, you know, I'll get my GoPro on the back. I don't have my GoPro. I think, honestly, it's in my wife's car. I'll get the GoPro on the back of this so you guys can hear what it sounds like doing a full pull, because I've GoPro'd every other exhaust system from the back bumper. So yeah, so look forward to that video. And just, if you guys have any questions about anything about header install, I know a lot about that now. Just anything regarding this car or this exhaust or Corsa or Texas Speed, just send me a message. I'd love to help you guys out. And I definitely recommend getting headers put on your car. I also definitely recommend having somebody else do them, because it's a pain in the butt. But like I said, if you are brave and you want to try it like I did, go for it. More power to you. If I can help you in any way, I would love to. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We're doing a lot more to this car. I actually have parts in the garage at home. More stuff going on the Mustang. So we're actually finally just, I guess, getting bored enough to start doing stuff to it. So anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye.